Good morning to all students. Welcome in our online class. Dear students, we are taking the literary terms and concepts in these classes. In our this class, we are taking symbol or symbolism. You know what a symbol is? A symbol is something that stands for something else. For example, rose stands for a message of friendship. It stands for love. It stands for soft feelings. Another example is a lamp or a light that stands for knowledge. We can say white color that stands for purity, innocence. So we can understand the term symbol. Symbol is derived from the Greek word symbolon. Symbolon means a mark or a token, a thing which is mark of something else. We can say so. Some critics say that it is derived from another Greek word that is symbole. Symbole means together, and bele means to throw. So it means to throw together, or we can refine it to the meaning that symbole means to put together. When one thing is loaded with meaning of something else, two ideas are loaded together, put together, then the used term becomes symbol. And symbolism refers to the use of symbols to express an idea regularly and to use symbol as the main device of expression. It is a name which is given to an art movement that started in 19th century, in which the expression was made chiefly through symbols. So that became symbolism or symbolic movement. This movement started from the French writers, Baudelaire and Verlaine and other writers. They started this movement, and later, even in the 20th century, even in the among the modern writers, T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, they are the prominent writers, prominent poets who use symbol in a very effective way. So we will consider these things in our this class. First, we start with symbol. A symbol is anything which signifies something else. In this sense, all words are symbols because every word means something else. Every word is related to something else that is not they themselves. As commonly used in discussing literature, symbol is applied only to a word or set of words that signifies an object or event which itself signifies something else. That is, the words refer to something which suggests a range of references beyond itself. We can understand this thing easily if we take some examples. As I have mentioned that light or lamp is a symbol of knowledge. So light itself or lamp itself is an object, but it indicates something else, that is knowledge. Now there are two types of symbols: conventional or public, and then private or personal. Conventional or public symbols are those symbols which, because of the continuous use in that framework, it becomes very easy to understand those symbols. Private and personal symbols are the symbols which are invented by the poet himself or the writer himself, and we can understand the meaning of those symbols if we more read the work of that writer. So we can say that some symbols are conventional or public. For example, the cross, the red, the white, the blue. The cross stands for Christ, Christianity. The red for strength, power, white, innocence and purity. The good shepherd means Jesus Christ. So these are the terms that signify symbolic objects of which the further significance is fixed and traditional in a particular culture. Poets, like all of us, use such conventional symbols. Many poets, however, also use private or personal symbols, which they themselves develop. Often they do so by exploiting pre existing and widely shared associations with an object or action. For example, the general tendency to associate a peacock with pride and an eagle with heroic endeavor, or the rising sun with birth and setting sun with death, and so on. Some poets often use symbols whose significance they mainly generate for themselves. Means we are talking about the private or personal symbols. And these set the reader a more difficult problem in interpretation, but this problem is not so serious that we cannot understand personal symbols. After carefully reading the work or dealing with more than one work, two or three works of the same writer, we can get at the meaning of the symbols used by the poet. So that is symbol. Now we move to symbolist movement. Various English romantic poets employed private symbols in their poetry. Shelley, for example, repeatedly made symbolic use of objects such as morning and evening star, a boat moving upstream, winding caves, and the conflict between a serpent and an eagle. William Blake exceeded all his contemporaries in the use of the persistent and sustained symbolism, both in his lyric poems and prophetic epics. English and European literature since World War I has been a notable era of symbolism in literature. Many major writers of the period, poets, novelists, and dramatists, all exploit symbols which are in part drawn from religious and esoteric traditions and in part developed by themselves. So, in literature, even in the modern literature, we find both types of symbols in use. Some of the notable works of the age are symbolists throughout in their setting, their agents, and their actions, as well as in their diction. For example, we can say Yeats' poem Byzantium, where Byzantium stands for a place where the art prevails, where the spiritual growth is possible. Similarly, if you remember Dylan Thomas' poem, then it is full of use of symbols. Stevenson's comedies as the letter C, and in novel especially Joyce's Ulysses and Faulkner's Sound and the Fury. All these are examples of symbols. All the examples of works produced under the effect of symbolism. In simple, we can say that the development of this movement, it started from a group of French writers including Baudelaire, Arthur Rimbaud, Verlaine, and Valery. British and American literature in the 20th century was both deeply affected by the symbolist movement. The entire technical gamut of modern poetry is greatly enhanced by their unique experimental techniques. Symbolist theories and symbolism slowly made their way into the poetry of modern poets like T.S. Eliot and W.B. Yeats, and in the modern novel as represented by Virginia Woolf and James Joyce, where images and notions often became more important than the actual narrative. So, symbol is a very powerful and we can say intellectual device to make expression so deep, so accurate that the reader is sure to come under its effect. That's all for our this class. From our next class, we will take the term allegory. So, thank you very much.